Hey, hi, hello, good evening. Also, hi, Mallow Wings. Welcome, thanks for checking me out. And thanks for testing out those commands and everything. I think you're like the first person to, aside from me, to actually use them. I didn't realize Seribot had their own coin flip command as well. I'm gonna see if I can try to work something with it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of ways you can configure Seribot and things like the ad alert. All very, very neat. Hey Azure, hello Molecular Shadow Fox. It's good to see you too. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to the middle of the week. I hope it's been going well for you so far. For me, it's been pretty relaxing. I'd say work has been fairly routine, although I've had fewer meetings than usual because most of my team has just been like out for vacation. I guess it's August, so I guess you just want to get it in while you can, right? While the weather is still nice and hot, right? I'm mentally exhausted because I just read a lot. Whew! Oh man. Well, I guess what better way to kind of rest your mind than watching a stream, right? I'm on lockdown until all this trouble in England is over. I did read about that, right? Saw England is has some pretty bad riding problems going on there right now, so yeah. Best of luck to you and stay safe, right? Alright, so as we have been doing for the past few months now, we're going to continue with Project Cars. Going to continue with Year 3, the GT3 events. So let's get back in here. We got the historic TGA Euro Trophy. I don't feel safe leaving the house, so I'm staying put. It's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do, right? I don't know what this game is. I'm just here for the vibes. Hope you like some chill vibes. And yeah, this is Project Cars. It's a pretty old simulation driving game created by Slightly Mad Studios. Previous work included Need for Speed Shift, and this is kind of what they went on to make. Kind of like a spiritual successor to Shift, really. As you might expect, it's all about the cars. About them cars. And race day. They got like the whole race day feel of this game down pretty pat. So you're going around the world, driving on regulation tracks, and just setting times and things. Kind of just make your way through the career, right? They're all like Grand Prix style events where, depending on where you place, you'll get points, and then at the end of the entire series, you'll get the final placement depending on how many points you get. Kind of continue along with that as you like get contracts to sign on with different racing teams. And they usually be of different car disciplines. So started out with kart racing, kind of moved on to GT3 cars, and yeah, your career's going to continue along this path. The return of Azure Redacted. Yeah. Yeah, pray for no rain, cause them cars get more slippery than an otter's pocket. Yeah. They practically just lose all sense of control. You have to be like extremely careful. Ooh, that's cool. So I'm guessing it's very replayable. Oh yeah. There are like a ton of tracks, a ton of cars to play on. It looks like, for the most part, the career mode is there to kind of just, like, give you some sort of structure, right? If you're the type of person who needs a reason to drive cars in certain tracks, then the career is like, alright, we'll serve you up a playlist of events so you can try out all this stuff. Although there is a free race mode, so if you want to just pick a track, pick a car, and just go to town, you can do that. Call it Project Cars for a reason, right? Different disciplines too, right? Yeah. As I said before, we started with go-karts, actually. We were driving little carts. And some of the other events include other types of cars, like you could drive cars you might see on the street You might sit, and then you might also drive like high-end cars that you might not see except in like some sort of bourgeois auto show or something like that, right? Not very into racing games unless it's Mario Kart, so I can bully my family members. But I like watching people play them. Yeah, I can see that, right? I know there's certain streams that maybe type of gameplay is not something I touch on very often, but it's fun seeing someone else go through it, whether they be learning it themselves or they're just like really good at it, or they just know how to make a good time out of it, no matter what. Been a petrol head since you were 4 years old. Oh yeah. Oh. Dang. I think this is gonna... Is it? Oh, I thought that was gonna invalidate my lap time. Alright, well, they aren't gonna ding me for it. I'll just keep on going. One thing I have gotten used to is the lack of a rewind function. I've played a lot of Forza, and that game is very, very generous with the rewind. So in a game like this, where you kind of have to commit with every action you take, it's a different play style, right? You can't just kind of barrel your way through a turn and then rewind if you mess up. You gotta live with the consequences, whether or not. This is a kind of game where the driving line is like very, very important, right? When they tell you to brake, you should probably brake, because if you don't, well, they warned you, right? Always brightens the week up on a Wednesday race chat stream. I'm glad to be a source of entertainment for folks out here, right? One way or another. Yeah, all skill people, right? If you mess up, it's a skill issue. Skill issue. Who needs brakes? Ram into the wall, car crash noise. Also known as me when I play Forza Horizon against computer players. Cars provide me all the turn cushioning I need. As said, every trial random teammate ever. Yeah. Yeah, people in online competitive races do that too. I was playing the Crew Motorfest, and they added like weekly challenges to that, and one of them is to play the online mode a certain number of times. So I've been doing that because they don't require you to do too many. It's like 2 per week, and that's something I can manage. But yeah, probably won't surprise you to know that some people there will also take the barreling into the wall strategy. I try my best not to. I feel like 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna still make a good time if I just, follow the turn and break my way into it like imagine they would want you to. Good luck everybody else, I'm gonna use you as brakes. Or in my case, I would, if they were computer players, I would use them as a cushion. Because for some reason you don't lose as much speed if you like smack into a car as opposed to smack into a wall. Scary, yeah. You can guarantee I'll get ass packed into turn 1 at Mach 3 in a trial event. It's an unfortunate reality. Wait, what does the sneeze command do? Oh, that was intended for, like, if anytime I sneezed, you could like, type that in, and then the counter would just tick up for how many times I sneezed on stream. Yeah. Yeah, when I first, like, was fiddling with Nightbot to see what kinds of commands I was messing with, I just did a few Some were like more complex than others, but it was kind of fun just seeing them work out, right? I just, yeah. It's like you have something in mind, and then you go to implement it, and then, you know, after a few trials and error, you eventually get something that works. Admittedly, it's been a while since I've, maybe logged into Nightbot and, some other places, but I should probably do that. Oh, there we go. There's my cut track penalty. But it's okay. I got a qualifying time in there. That's what matters. Yeah, like rock, paper, scissors. That's one of the things I put in there. Just some random stuff. Just for kicks, right? A friend of mine has a fun redeem. It'll play Let's Get Physical, and he'll have to do 20 push-ups. Those are the things I'll probably be more careful about. Like, for example, I do have a hydrate redeem, but as far as I remember, I think I put a cooldown on it. Pretty sure I put a cooldown on that. I've seen like countless memes where, you know, it's like when someone has a hydrate command on their stream, and then you see like the person just flooded with water, and yep, there we go. There's the hydrate. Thanks for that. I'll hydrate myself at the first available opportunity. It should be in about 30 seconds. Windows 98 one. Yeah, I will not get waterboarded yet. I will not get overly full with water. I will not have to run to the bathroom every 10 minutes or so. Or ever, probably because I'm broke. Oh. I guess I made it to the finish line in time for the final lap. I really don't need to make it count. Okay, there it is. Alright, hydrate. I'm just drinking water. Just good old water. Have you seen the ones where chat can throw plushies at your avatar? I have seen those, yeah. The Twitch integrated throwing system. Yeah, that seems like fun. I want to maybe get into that someday. Yeah, I've seen other people do it. Every streamer needs to head pat one. Yeah! Head pat. Yeah, I'll have that eventually, too. Actually, I could probably just do that now. I just need to find, like, a head patting GIF and then have that show up whenever someone redeems it. Since I rarely move my model from the bottom corner anyway, it won't take too much effort to put in there. Head pats are required, yeah. Get something going in hand with a hydrate redeem. There's also a stretch redeem. Or at least a posture check. That way you can have a streamer posture check themselves, make sure that they get out of their gremlin pose. It's a nice one, too. Shame I don't do a Friday stream, because I could have a Femboy Friday redeem. If only. If only. I used to have like other redeems on the stream. There were a set where you could have like a video play on the other corner, but as far as I could tell, they only like randomly activated. So I decided to just like disable them because I don't know. It felt bad. I felt bad just like, you know, having people redeem them and then nothing happens at all. Like, all right, maybe I'll figure something out. But till then, we'll just leave them on the wayside. Yeah, I need to think of like some sort of big epic redeem that just like takes up the entire screen. Something that costs like tens of thousands of points and like essentially plays like a small cutscene for kicks and giggles. I've seen some streamers where they put in like the impossibly high cost reward and it's something really, really silly. Like I saw someone have it like worth tens of millions and was like the funniest redeem ever, all in intentionally mistyped style. Who knows if they actually put something there, but that would be fun. Or a fake crash screen. That would be fun. Just like a brief appearance of a BSOD or something like that. Wouldn't want to make it too long, though. Probably like a few seconds at best. Yeah, you don't want to disrupt it too much. Saw a redeem worth 1,000,000 points. Want to know what it was? Sonic 3 Extra Life jingle for a new follow. That one's a pretty good idea. Banana. The streamer had to eat a banana for 1,000,000 points. Oh man. Did they like bananas or did they not like bananas? Things would be very different depending on what their stance on bananas was. Oh. Alright, we're just going through. Ew, bananas. I'm like one of those people who actually enjoys bananas, but I know other people aren't fans of it, and that's totally cool. I think the same streamer had a lemon redeem. That had to have been more points, right? So I can't... Unless they really, really hated bananas, I couldn't see a world in which a lemon redeem was fewer points than a banana redeem. They also ate part of the peel, so I think they were neutral towards them. Oh, okay. So it's just a sight gag kind of thing. I will eat a banana. That's it. I'm guessing they go out to the grocery store and buy a lot of bananas. For a really high point redeem, a face reveal. I don't know. I don't think I would do that even as a joke. The thing about having like the joke options is that you're always gonna challenge someone to go for it, right? Even if you don't actually intend to follow through, someone's gonna try for it. No, apparently they call their girlfriend to go shopping for a banana during stream. Oh, okay. That makes sense, I guess. There we go. Words of encouragement from Charlton Day. What we got next? The Vintage Stock Caper Special Trophy. The next round of it. Yeah, this reminds me of a story that I think I read about a while ago, where there was it was like a real life sort of points redemption program for a brand I forgot, but they had a joke redeem. It was like a fighter jet for like million points or something like that. And someone actually went through the trouble to just, like, get 1,000,000 points and went and redeemed it. And I think the company had to clarify that. No, we didn't actually expect anyone to get all those points and actually try to get a jet. But it was just, like, something funny to note. It's a rule of the joke option. If you include a joke option, someone's gonna try to go for the joke option. Not that many people have 1,000,000 points, or was it 10 million? Yeah. I feel like that's the only kind of that's the kind of thing that would only be possible if someone does, like, gambling a lot. Also, you probably need, like, a lot of viewers who have watched a long time and have a lot of points to waste. A friend of mine has a standing desk redeem, so you can imagine on a long stream, stood up and all that. Oh, jeez. I mean, there's certain times I prefer... I don't mind standing up, but yeah, I definitely have my limits to standing up. Yeah. Hey there, bud! Hello, Venom! It's good to see you. How are you doing tonight? Got a bit of a lively house going on. Yeah, I think they do a lot of gambling. Ah, that tracks. All out and forced to watch you. I'm just loud. I think you would have noticed. Not to mention, this is my first stream here. Yeah, it is. Glad you're checking me out. Over 2 years of being entertained. Oh, geez. It's still wild when you think about it. I've been streaming for like 2 whole years. And some change now, but whew, still going. Still driving and saving the world and stuff. You're talking about the Pepsi incident. Pepsi, where's my jet? Ah, I knew there was like an incident. I just forgot like who it was specifically, but yeah. Fighter jet redeem was always meant to be a gag thing. I think the way the person who gathered all those points did it too was they didn't actually like gather all the points. They actually just like there was like some sort of system in which you could like pay for points using money, so they spent they covered the difference with money, but still they're like, where's my jet? Really? Do they still stream? That would be funny. Oh man. Oh well, that's dedication nonetheless, yeah, it is. Pretty sure Pepsi made it up to the guy some other way. Because really, you have to have like massive amount of guts to kind of do something like that, yeah. Other people would be like, ah ha ha, look, it's funny because who's gonna have all those points to get a jet? And this guy was like, bet. NASCAR plus technical turns equals does not compute. Yeah, I think someone was like last week, hey, wow, NASCAR car turning right, inconceivable. I like how, because we are being talkative, it's somewhat distracting me. While race game nights tend to be like pretty chill yapping sessions anyway, right? It's all backdrop. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the racing part of it, but sometimes it's fun to just talk about other things too. It's a nice conversation. Sometimes you just have things you want to talk about, or things you want to see other people talk about. You can talk about them. The more random the topic, the better. It's always fun when you kind of like go back through a conversation, just kind of see the through line through the whole thing, right? You just like talking about a thing, and then you go, wait, how did we arrive on this again? And you like retrace your steps to see, okay, we were talking about this, and we were talking about this. Just trying to figure out, okay, how did we get to this topic again? Aw, jeez. My BF did that to me when I visited him in Utah. Sat on my lap while I was trying to play a racing game to distract me and make me cry. Aww. Oops, I did it again. Yep. It's not my fault these cars swerve, like, turn too long and suddenly just like, hey, this wall looks real nice. What if I just went and said hi to it with my face? Oh, we're in ad mode. Enjoy ads, or go get a snack and a drink. Whatever you want. And now I will talk about another topic. Have I mentioned that I wish there were like more options where to like choose where you could place your ad break notifier? I feel like that should be a thing, because I think it was doing well on the bottom. Now they moved it to the top. I guess it's intuitively just easier to notice, but oh, we're back. Huh. My window is saying we have like another 24 seconds. Oh, alright then. There's a delay and everything, so maybe I'm just getting this later than everyone else, which is weird because, you know, I'm streaming this from my PC, but internet be funny, right? Oh no, my racing noises, yeah. Yes, that would be the thing. Every 30 minutes or so, your racing noises will be interrupted by adverts. Gave me time to grab a tasty drink, oh yeah. And ideally that's what you would do, right? It's like a TV commercial. Yeah, if you remember watching TV on a TV set, they would have regular TV commercials on the TV shows, and that would be your cue to go to the bathroom or get a drink, or maybe quick chat with the people who are watching with you. Just like, don't do what my parents did and switch to another channel, because then you miss out like on more of the first show than you'd want. Like, better to keep track of one show than to keep partial track of like two shows, right? And then when picture-in-picture became a thing, that was even more of a pain. I DVR my shows so all the adverts are fast forward times 30. There you go. That's the way to do it. I remember when DVRs had like a don't record ads function. I admit, I don't use a DVR myself, so I can't really say for sure if they still have them or not. I usually watch them and was just like, colors. I'm very easily entertained. The ads are doing their job then. They only got like 30 seconds to hook you in. I gotta be real quick about it. Ow, man. Alright, we were on qualifying. That's okay. This is the last one. It's handy for me when I want to watch stuff while I'm on the road at work, I can imagine. Wants to be on the road and watch commercials, right? Or, you know, listen to ads. Want to get your entertainment on. Alright, time for race proper. Let's do this. I was wondering when they would start doing the countdown. Kick back in the cab on the bunk bed and just chill. Yeah, there you go. I'm a BRB, phone dying. Oh man, yeah, go get that phone charged, Mallow. Had to check what is a DVR. A bit young for that. Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess with streaming services kind of taken over as like the primary form of entertainment amongst the younger crowd, DVR maybe not as huge. I have to admit, I don't like keep up with TV shows myself. Like the most I ever watch TV is when I go to my parents' place, and they usually have like some sort of old show marathon going on. That's the most I get. More than I usually care about. Now I feel like some gray muzzle. It's just a result of technology marching on, right? Devices that used to be in vogue and everything, they start to become relics of the past. I do remember there was like a minor trend going on when, I think it was the PS2 being introduced into the video game museum, and people were like, nah, PS2, it can't be that old, right? You know, last gen systems, that's like the PS2 and the GameCube, right? Right? Nah, it's pretty old now, right? I think it's like almost old enough to drink in certain countries. Like, man, it's been around. Going back a long way here, but I remember when you had laser discs. That was like the format that only ever showed up in classrooms. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch ourselves a science program on the laser disc today. Got ourselves the special laser disc set wheeled in from, you know, parts unknown to watch it. Ah, man. Okay. Oh, it's okay. We got 2 laps to make this up. How old is it? Oh, no. I think it's at least 20 years old, right? Oh, great. And there's rain coming, too. Oh, this is going to be fun. So even if I make my way back to the front, there's probably no guarantee that I'm going to actually keep my lead. Yeah, it's 24, legal to drink even in the US. Yeah. Very, very old console. And I still remember buying games new for it. I still remember going out to the video game store and just picking up Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. Just, you know, for retail price. Granted, retail price was cheaper back then, but still, I got it new. God, making me feel old. Yeah, just insert rapidly aging meme here, or crumbles to dust. Whichever one you prefer. 18 to drink here. I think a lot of people have said it, but it's weird that the US has drinking age at 21, whereas 18 is like the age at which you can do other things like enlist in the military. Logic would follow that. You know, if you hit that legal age, then you might as well be old enough to do everything, right? At least old enough to know the consequences. US maybe had more drunk driving, perhaps? It's possible. I'd admit I don't know the history about setting the drinking age to 21, but it is funny when you just, like, compare it to all the other stuff. Believe it or not, the PS2 ended its production in 2012. The PS3 was out for 6 years. I did notice that. I mean, they were still developing, I think, like, Wii games, like, long after, you know, the world had moved on to other consoles, right? Like, they were putting out Just Dance games, like, up until very, very recently. Okay, if I can make it to, like, not last, consider this good. Alright. 12th. 13th. This is what they were saying about the rain. Rain, I just, like, completely fold. I cannot handle this. Rain just, like, makes the race a wash for me. If it rains, I might as well consider it a loss. Because I cannot. I'm not even gonna bother. I could retry this until I'm blue in the face and I would still get 20th. It's gonna take the loss. I forgot. I think I finished 3rd in the first event, so I really need to step it up. There's still 2 races to go, so no need to panic just yet. Shame, good race. Let's regroup tomorrow and debrief on what went wrong. It's me. I'm the problem. Don't get me started on Just Dance. I was forced into that by my ex-stepdaughter so often. This Foxy is no dancer. I mean, I get it. I'm not that much of a dancer myself. Put me out there and the most I can do is just, like, awkwardly shuffle from left to right. Yeah, 2020 was the last Just Dance game on the Wii. Yeah! Developing Just Dance games all the way up to 2020 on the Wii. Of course, you can also imagine, man, people be using their Wiis in 2020, but hey, you know, they're out there. Not to mention Wii is the one that just, like, super really took off amongst the general public, so, you know, that makes sense at least. 2 left paws, yeah. I'm not that skilled at dancing myself. Reading is paining me right now. Always kick back and relax and take a break until you're ready to get back in there, right? Wow, all the way to 2020, yeah. Find it a bit surprising, too. And I believe it's the last game of the Wii. That's the note it went out on. Just Dance 2020. My BF got me one of those Ring Fit thingies to help keep in shape. Ha! You know, I bought Ring Fit Adventure, like, some time ago. I still haven't unboxed it. I should probably do that sometime. I hear it's, like, pretty fun. Gets you a pretty decent workout. No, the book is more like, just kiss already! Ah, okay, it's one of those things. Got the two characters who are very clearly into each other. And they're like, please just go out. Confess. The staple of every rom-com ever. Always do they always do that dance. Song and dance. We're totally into each other, but we're not going to admit it for reasons. I need to get in shape and stuff if I'm going to fursuit for long hours. Oh, yeah, absolutely understandable. You definitely need to be fit to lug around all that extra weight, right? That's a mood right there. Just tell how you feel, right? Just talk it out. I feel like 95% of like fictional stories could be resolved if you know, people would sit down and talk things out. Romance hurts me. Miscommunication. I mean, I get it, right? If they did do that, then the series would be a lot shorter, but still. Can only stretch the realm of believability so long before people just go, yeah, clearly they would realize something, right? I mean, some series do it better than others. That was me when I was watching Sasaki and Miyano. Just yelling at my monitors. It would be, but come on, yeah. Yeah, there's one thing I've seen, like, maybe pop up a little bit more often in, like, romantic comedies is the part where, the people who like each other confess, and then they actually follow them afterwards. So, you know, the entire climax doesn't hinge on will they or won't they. Now it's all about having that relationship and maintaining it. There's one series I watched a while back. It was called Gamers that did that. Where they had, like, a guy who joined a club because he liked a girl who was also in that club. I think, like, about halfway through the season, he just, like, blurted out, "Will you go out with me?" And she was like, "Yes, totally." And I was like, "What?" And then the rest of the series just has them dating, right? Just dating. And have some fun with that. And that was, like, pretty cool. To be honest, as actually painful as slow burn is probably one of my favorite tropes because of the pain. It's all about keeping the readers in suspense, right? It's all about, okay, are they going to figure it out this time? How close will they get? And what sorts of situations will they get themselves into? Or will their love for each other be challenged this time around? Get that a lot with visual novels, too. Oh, yeah. Especially the ones that have, like, the multiple routes and everything. Which I imagine is, like, most of them, actually. But I think the only visual novel I've actually played was Go Go Nippon, and that was actually quite a while ago. Then the good endings and the bad endings and all that, yeah. I'd admit, I was, like, kind of sort of interested in maybe picking up the Tsukahime remake. Because I know that was, like, a pretty legendary story. And I played a lot of Melty Blood, so I'm kind of curious to go back to see how it all began. I know the remake is like the first half of the original VN only covers like 2 of the characters and their routes, and even then they've actually condensed it a bit from there. Although they did shake up like the character makeup a bit too. It's like that show Top Model. My uncle says that you could watch the first episode and the last episode out and nothing would have changed. I could see that. I mean, for some people it is about the journey, but if you're just like interested in, oh, who's gonna win, then yeah. Don't worry about that. It's like back when Deal or No Deal used to be like a big deal. And like one of the perhaps the earliest examples of just padding things the heck out, right? It's like one person would go through and open like 28 cases in the span of an hour. I remember someone put up a video on YouTube that was just like, all right, here's a game of Deal or No Deal, but I cut out all the extraneous stuff, and it was only like 5 minutes long. It was just consistent. They only kept in the parts where the person was like, number, they reveal what the case was, number, then the case, and then big offer, no deal, deal, something like that, right? All of that. When you cut everything else out, it's like 5 minutes. I used to be glued to that America's Next Top Model. Can you imagine? Fashion. It's all about that fashion, right? Want to talk about padding? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Well, even they... I mean, they definitely do it, but... it still doesn't feel quite as bad as some of the games that came later. Some of the later ones stretched it out to ridiculous extremes. I heard some other countries' versions of that game show did some insidious things, like where they'll have the contestant lock in the answer, but then go to a commercial break before they reveal if it's correct or not. I mean, the show has been running for 37 seasons since 1987. Are we talking about Dragon Ball Z levels of padding? Yeah, it's like 5 minutes stretched out over the course of however many episodes that took. Still remember when they came out with like Kai. That was the Cliff Notes version of it. And one of the big improvements was that Namek blew up in a shorter amount of time. Half a season for a transformation, yeah? I would believe that. And that's why they had that old classic joke, how many characters does it take to... or how many Dragon Ball Z characters does it take to screw in the light bulb? 1, but it takes 37 episodes. 2+ episodes of just yelling the power up. I think there was like another arc where Goku spent like several episodes powering up a spirit bomb. It was just like right behind the villain, and for some reason the villain never thought to turn around and watch this like huge ass ball of energy just build up further and further. Frieza, yeah. Of course, I was a kid back then, so I was just like, ooh, beams, ooh, martial arts, ooh, they're flying through the air. Who knows? It's the anime logic, right? Whenever you see something like that happen, it's just like anime logic. One place I noticed that especially applies to is clothes, right? It's like a person's outfit isn't going to matter until the plot says it matters. So they could be like wearing the most impractical thing out there for fighting, but they're gonna be totally fine until the plot says it starts mattering. Forget. I think there's another image I saw on Twitter where like a bunch of people were like hunched over poses, and someone made a joke that was like, "This is pretty much every Dragon Ball," or this is like accounts for about 50% of Dragon Ball Z episodes, and then someone else replied, "The other 50% is them doing this but in the air." I was like, the reason why sales of massive amounts of hair gel were sold. Oh yeah, all those shonen hairstyle with like the spiky hair bits just going out everywhere. The kind of thing usually doesn't happen naturally unless you're waking up. Oh, for goodness sake, it's going to rain again. Oh, we're in a better car this time, so... Yugi, right? He's the one that like his hair defies all reason. Not only is it spiky, it's also multicolored. Like, how does that even work? It's like on the cheat levels of this only makes sense if you look at it from one perspective. Like, imagine what that must look like from the side. Yeah, it could survive a level 20 plus tornado and not move. You could hold on to it. You could use it as an anchor point. If twisters come by, then you would be safe. Probably as strong as Marge Simpson's beehive. That's always fun to see in real life, too. In the TV show, it just looks like a big old blue cushion. But obviously, you have to get something a bit sturdier for a real life cosplay of that. Yeah, I don't care. Must be strong because she hides stuff in it. Like, what is the most ridiculous thing Marge has pulled out of her hair? It's a pretty easy gag to go for, though. It's like a big old thing, definitely has to be used as a hidden storage compartment. Hidden in plain sight, even. Reminds me of that episode when the kids were freaking out because they acknowledged that they didn't have a hairline. I like the occasional bit of medium awareness, for sure. Alright. Just get back in there, for goodness sake. Oh, man. Well, this is like race 2 of 4 or something like that, right? Could probably eat a loss. derailed. Absolutely. This went just all the way sideways and back ways and upside down ways. Every which way but forward. Car turned into a bowling pin. I'm just like sliding out here like I was on the ice rink or something. God, the slip physics are bad. I just noticed. Yeah. I imagine it's like true to life, but good lord, I am terrible at managing it. Rear-wheel drive and the rain are never good. Wouldn't mind, but you have traction control. Let's see. Yeah. We're not down and out just yet, but yeah, a few things went wrong out there, it seems. I called for a team debrief to get a sense of what we can do to improve going forward. Well, in any case, we can go to the next event. Ooh, it looks like we're gonna start the GT3 Euro Championship. The rain went wrong. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and we're in ad mode. I was going to say, like, this is again one of the reasons why I wish they would give us like a weather forecast or something. I wonder if they have something like that in Project Cars too. Ooh. Got this number.
Go, go, go!
I swear, this game needs to stop bamboozling me with like perfect days during practice and then having the halfway through the race, surprise, rain. Would be nice. Guess I get to drive this sick ride for this event. Maybe this is what I need, just a little bit of catharsis, just to get to drive a really nice, fancy car. Well, fancier car than usual. Welcome back from Adland. The McLaren 620S, oh yeah. I'm gonna get a taste of Euro cars this series. Does anyone see the announcements Dead by Daylight had? I think there's one that probably caught some folks' eye. Five Nights at Freddy's is finally gonna cross over with that game. Although you're gonna have to wait till next summer for it, but I'm sure people will be very, very excited for that. The way I see it, We got Resident Evil. We got Silent Hill in there. We got Tomb Raider, Castlevania, all sorts of other crossovers. Sure, put FNAF in there. Why not? It's popular amongst folks. And that game is known for having a lot of killers. A lot of famous killers, so why not? I'm here for anything FNAF. Oh yeah. I can imagine. I guess the real question is, probably know what the killer representative will be, but who will the survivor representative be? If they pick one, right? They don't have to. They could just have a FNAF killer and call it a day. I'm sure they've done that for like other killers too, where they have just a killer. Because they also have like other crossovers where it's just a survivor. Like I think Nick Cage is just himself, obviously. And there's Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, doesn't have an associated killer. Just have Lara Croft. Oh yeah, they also have Dungeons and Dragons. Right, if I remember correctly, a killer and a survivor. It's the kind of game where I'll probably just play in private lobbies. I feel like this far out, only ones who still play in like the regular matchmaking games are probably pretty good at the game. I just end up getting walloped one way or another. Pause crossed, they'll use the OG Spring Trap and not the awful redesigned Scrap Trap or Burn Trap. Well, whichever one they pick, the others will probably be available as like cosmetic items, right? Like how certain crossover characters will have like cosmetics that will turn them into another character entirely. If you're not a fan of Leon Kennedy or Ada Wong, or sorry, Jill Valentine, you could, maybe pick up like a Ada Wong cosmetic set, or yeah, you get the idea. Still hate Burn Trap breaks the S combo. Yeah, it kind of messed up that whole alliterative niceness, didn't it? It's all about the patterns. You want to have like some sort of theme in there, even if it is some sort of theme that maybe doesn't mean too much in the grand scheme of things, but it's nice. It's nice, right? It can be nice. Spring Trap, Scrap Trap, Skelly Trap, for instance. Yeah. Need to see more of my girl, Roxanne Wolf. They'll probably have cosmetics for the other famous animatronics, right? It won't just all be Spring Trap related. Loved her in the Security Breach DLC. It's a nice thing about DLC when they give side characters a chance to shine a little bit more. Felt so bad for the animatronics and security breach and ruin victims of circumstance. Wish there was a mode where we could repair them. That's what fanfic is for, right? Write that scenario in which the animatronics do get their happy ending. Although I get it, you wish there was like some sort of way to make it canon, even if it is like alternate canon. Didn't like seeing Roxy all broken like that. Yeah, can imagine. Yes, fanfic where Bonnie and Roxy can have children. JK, but it probably exists somewhere. If you've thought of the scenario, chances are someone else has probably thought of it too. And if not, well, why not be a trailblazer? Poor Glamrock Bonnie. Yeah, then I can make it. If I can't find a path, I'll forge my own. Trust me, if you've seen the FNAF thirst tweets, then you know there's a lot of fanfics. I would not be surprised. You made a singular fanfic of a rare ship between your favorite characters, and you inserted a bunch of depression into it. Oh man. So like one of those ships that would just ended up in tragedy usually, but or they just like characters who would be predisposed to depression. My favorites aren't allowed to be happy. Ah. Always a bummer when a series like feels like it does them dirty. It's like, oh man, I want them to have their happy ending, but sometimes the writers think otherwise. It can be a shame. Never done that. Taken me all my time to work on my personas lore and backstory. Ah, okay. Well, gotta have your priorities right. No, one of them died. I made them depressed. Oh, okay, okay. You were the cause of it. Well, sure it made for a compelling story, at least.
Go, go, go!
This is probably like a few weeks old, but I saw that Castle Crashers is getting new DLC as well. Oh, okay, I'm tired now due to reading, so I'm hope to sleep insomnia. Please don't today. Alright, have yourself a good night, Malo. Thanks for stopping by. And yes, I hope you get yourself some rest. Hopefully your insomnia will work with you. And not against you. Yeah, Castle Crashers. I remember playing that game, I want to say like mid-aughts. Back on the 360, when it first came out. My cousins and brother and I all had a go at that. Just got through a good chunk of the game. And then when I got my own 360, I got through the rest of it. Yeah, that game's seen a lot of releases on other platforms. I think they got like a remaster out there too. Out just like out of nowhere, DLC. And it's adding the ability to make like custom characters. It is nice, right? When a game you thought everyone had moved on from, and they're like, hey!
Okay, let's make this the big one.
What if we just put out some more stuff for it? It's nice. Did you see that god-awful redesign they did of M. Bison for Street Fighter 6? I don't think I have. It's a bummer. I played a lot of Street Fighter 6 when it first came out, and I stuck with it for a bit too, but I guess I just like moved on after a while. Game was fun, don't get me wrong, but yeah, the other games come up that I'm like, alright, I want to play these now. They did my boy dirty. Ah, that's a shame. Kind of weird they're bringing Bison back as well, because I thought he, like, for all intents and purposes, died. But I guess, like with most recurring franchises, you can't keep a popular character down. I mean, what was it? Heihachi from Tekken was supposedly like done in Tekken 7, but now Tekken 8 DLC has come out, and he's going to be like amongst them. Like, what is his reason for coming back? And this after they like introduced a whole new character that was supposed to have his fighting style and everything. So, you know, you could have a Heihachi without really having Heihachi. Just, it was a bummer. He can never die. Yep, he's a tough old bird that you can't kill. Yeah, that's the thing about characters, right? People get attached to the characters, and you know, even if you try to have them taken out by story reasons one way or another, sometimes the sheer popularity of a character will move them to bring them back. It's like, yeah, people really get attached to the idea of a character sometimes. You can't just stick the moveset on another character and then expect them to be cool with it, right? Because that's not what they're there for. They're not. Most people, some people aren't there for the fighting style. They might be there for the character. I mean, he's 80 plus at this point and looks great. How does he do it? Gotta be some real good skincare routines he's doing, right? With the famous hairdo, yeah. It looks like he got like a giant fan blown in his face. And then a bunch of hair gel just like came afterwards and hit him right in the temples. Those are like the hairstyles that probably looked fine when it was like low poly, but when they try to, translate them to the more realistic, in quotation marks, graphics, it can be a hit or miss whether that continues to look good or not. Like I said this already, but it's like one of the things I liked about Street Fighter 6. They managed to go with like a sort of quasi-realistic art style that is still very stylized, but it does not look uncanny one bit, and that takes some real effort there, right? Because no sorts of technical prowess in the world would help you if your characters look too uncanny or otherwise. On PS1, his hair looked like 2 ice cream cones. That's all the polys they had to play with, right? Highlight for me was Bosch. I was like, OMG, he's hot. Yeah, this is great when they managed to pull it off and bring a character into the modern hardware and not compromise on what people liked about him. I think I thought the same way about Blazkowicz in the newer Wolfenstein games. I guess even Doomslayer to an extent. The parts where you can like see his face in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, they kind of they look like the guy from the face in the old school Doom games. Looks like a high-res version of that, and that's pretty cool. Are there any other games you can think of that has like successfully made that leap to modern hardware and not had to compromise like any element of the original character for it? There's another game I'm thinking of, Guilty Gear, with the character Milla, because I think in the Sprite games, since her hair was her weapon. In like the Sprite games, her hair could like take all sorts of unique shapes and still have like a bit of flow to it. But in the 3D games, don't get me wrong, it all looks great, but you can tell they had to compromise a bit to kind of make her hair work for 3D. And to their credit, they made it work. But I do miss the old style of Milla from the sprite-based Guilty Gears. Mortal Kombat, obviously. Melina looked great. Yeah, I think Mortal Kombat managed to pull it off pretty well. I think the best part is when they have the classic costumes, and they update those to like look like how you would expect them to look in the modern day, but still have that classic touch to them, so... You get stuff like the quilted ninja garb that you saw in like the old school, but now it looks 3D and everything, and that's pretty cool. Always loved the Mortal Kombat 2 outfits. It's kind of neat how they managed to do so much with, the resources they had. They were like, yeah, what if we just, tweak the color values of certain aspects of the clothes here? We could make totally new characters out of it. And, it did lead to the running gag of how, like, Mortal Kombat has ninjas of all sorts of different colors and things like that, but... from a practical perspective, I can't fault him for it. Behind the scenes for that was really good, seeing the actors doing the moves and stuff. Oh, that's always fun. when you get to see like the making of for anything, right? Like games, movies, TV shows, and you get to see a bit of like how things work behind the scenes. You get an appreciation for that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, they put in a lot of work to make this game work out. Like, I remember when I was watching the Uncharted behind-the-scenes videos they would include, and, you know, seeing all the actors in, like, the motion capture suits, and the ways they would, like, hand them props and everything to try to, you know, give them the idea of how the scene was playing out. But, like, you see, like, the people behind them, you know, take the stuff and bring the stuff back, and to make everything look fluid and everything. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, stop motion work for Kentaro and Motaro too. I know there's some people out there who kind of poo-poo the sprites in Donkey Kong Country, but the fact that Rare went and made a 3D model and then posed it in different ways and then made the sprite set out of that, I always thought that was kind of cool. I think they used a similar technique for King of Fighters 13 as well, right? They made 3D models and then drew this. They made the 3D models, they posed them, and then they used that as like a reference for drawing the sprites. Which I think it worked pretty well because the sprites in that game looked absolutely baller. Even though games are advanced now, the old 2D anime sprites always hold a special place in my heart. One reason I adore the Street Fighter Alpha series, yeah. There's just a lot of care just put into the sprites, making sure they all animate smoothly and you get every bit of detail out of them. Yeah, the Marvel games too. French bread games as well. Right, Melty Blood had some pretty darn good looking sprites, and Under Night In-Birth continued that trend. I think they're like one of the last sprite-based devs out there, or sprite-based fighter game devs out there. At the very least, they're not as prevalent as they used to be. That's why the ones that still do it stand out more. It's always interesting to see the Capcom characters rendered in the SNK style. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, Capcom versus SNK. I remember one had, like, all the characters drawn in both styles, so you sort of got, like, that SNK house style and then the Capcom house style. And then SVC Chaos, where they went even further and just, like, had the SNK style sprites for the Capcom characters and everything too. That's always neat. I like seeing that when you have like a character drawn in another style, or seeing how like another artist would interpret how that character would look in their style. It's always fun to see. Like, oh yeah, how would they look? In SNK 2, the art would depend on which groove you chose. That makes sense. I can absolutely see that. If they ever make a Capcom versus SNK 3, I hope that trend continues. Especially if they expand the roster to include, like, the entirety of the Capcom and SNK universes. It'd be fun seeing, you know, how say, Dante or Mars people might look in the other company style. SNK1 wore out my fingers on Dreamcast. I can imagine. Especially with the kind of game that you need, like the... Fighting games in general would probably wear my fingers out super quick. Because I would need to, you know, press buttons with speed and timing and everything. It'd definitely be one of those cases where I would be much more tense than usual as well. And I'd probably be hitting the buttons with a bit more force as usual too, so it all kind of adds up, right? That controller isn't set up for fighting games. No, it wasn't. It was a pretty comfy controller, but there were definitely some puzzling design decisions about it. Oh, great. It's raining. Oh. I'm driving a McLaren, so things should be fine, right?
Green, green, green.
This is stealth bomber controllers. Oh, this is 5 laps, okay. This is gonna be a fun time. Did another race though, right? So I'd assume they have like a different configuration. I guess it's gonna be shorter. Probably. Can you tell I've not been paying attention to the events? Just be like, okay, this is the next one we're gonna race. Alright, let's go. We're getting in there. Just in it to hopefully not lose it all. Tonight, it seems to be a case of we're gonna try to lose as little as possible. It's a toss-up of how well I'll do. Pretty much just comes down to if rain set position to last. Seems like what it's been happening so far. Back. The stealth bomber of controllers. Guess it kind of resembled one, huh? I know other people have already said it, but the thing that always puzzled me was, why was the wire on the bottom of the controller? Certainly made for a more awkward time, right? Very similar to the Jaguar controller. Yeah, when you kind of look at it from afar, it is a pretty large, almost circular-esque pad. This race is taking me 2 minutes for a lap.
Lovely driving, great first lap. We're in control, so let's build a buffer to second place.
We're gonna be here for a while, huh? PS2 DualShock every time for best controller. It is a very good controller for sure. Certainly had a good time with it. Very comfortable controller. Robust too. Yeah. I'd say Xbox controller comes pretty close though. Certainly felt comfortable for me. And I don't know, I like the way they do the triggers as well. The fact that you can kind of curl your finger in and keep your grip on them that way. Feels pretty comfortable there. I do wish stick placement were slightly different, but yeah, well. Everything else I can take. Can handle being thrown against the wall. And it's nice when controllers can withstand a lot of beatings. I remember there was I forget which magazine did it, but they always had like
Box now, box now. You must pit for your mandatory change of tires.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. Okay. Keep an eye out for the pit lane. Yeah, there was a magazine that did like a controller stress test, where they would like take a variety of controllers, first and third party, and just like run a series of tests with them. Oh, there it is. They eventually stopped doing that because they realized it was like no longer about actually stress testing the controllers, and them just like devising ways to figure out how they can definitively destroy the controllers. It's like, yeah, understandable. They need to have a word with Sega. The Mega Drive controller was indestructible. Made out of the same stuff that the old Nintendo consoles were made out of, no doubt. My only issue with the Xbox controller is the stick drift that they all suffer from.
Go, go, go!
Yeah. Thing that comes with age, sadly. Stick's responsiveness will falter. And they'll start responding to things that you wouldn't reasonably expect them to respond to. So I appreciate it when games have like a dead zone option, and you can adjust that. So you can account for the fact that, you know, the controller might send in like a rogue input every now and then. Right? If your controller's like more finicky, then you can adjust that dead zone out a bit more. I guess it's especially needed for PC because, you know, while the Xbox controller has like become more of a standard thing, you know, people are still free to use whatever controller they want. So it's nice when they let you adjust those options to that degree. Mine is getting like that now. Had it for 5+ years now. For a third party, it's held up well. Yeah. 5 years for a third-party controller is a pretty good run. For sure. That was like the thing with third parties. Always the joke that they would not last as long. But they were cheaper. Right? Like, on the axis of price versus quality, we're definitely getting the lower price, but ideally, you know, the first-party controllers would last you longer. But you know, most of the time, if you were going to get third-party controllers, it's like for Player 3 and 4, where you probably weren't going to use them that much anyway, so might as well save money where you can. At least I'm pretty sure that's like what most parents' line of thinking was. If they weren't just thinking, oh, this is cheap, why don't we just get this? Which I'm sure some of them did as well.
Great job, that's great pace.
Mad
Don't
Cat's
switch
made
off.
some
We're
good
building a
stuff,
really good
ah.
gap now to second. Keep it up.
Been a while since I heard that name. If I remember correctly, they tried to like help. They tried to help out with like Rock Band. Or, no, I think they did the peripherals for Rock Band 4, and I think for some way or another that like actually sank them. They didn't quite get the response they wanted from that, and They eventually folded. Bit of a shame. Had my 6-button controller for Mega Drive from them. Still have it. It was a godsend for MK against my mom. Nice. As I said before, that's probably like one of the cases where you would get a third-party controller. But, you know, you might have the occasional multiplayer session, but you're obviously not going to do it all the time, so, you know, you don't have to maybe go all in for controllers that you're not going to use all the time. Man, kind of missed the days of couch multiplayer, couch co-op. Don't do it quite as much, although that's like just more because of personal circumstances than anything else. Most of my multiplayer with friends is done online. I'm sure this is like the case with most people who have like gaming groups, is that we're all in different places around the world, so, you know, getting together for a couch session is probably impractical. Breakfast 2 will have split-screen multiplayer. Okay, that's cool. It's nice that you know, some companies will still do that even in this day.
One more lap to go.
Which split-screen might not be as prevalent as it used to be. I hope that will please a certain crowd out there. Feels like a blast from the past with split screen, right? Back in the good old days when you would like sit down and have that game with your friends and you just have like part of the screen available to you. You try to peek at your friend's screen to see what they're doing and see if you can try to counter their strategy. They're probably doing the same to you, so it all becomes a game of trying to outwit the other. Also impressive from a technical standpoint too, because you have to imagine a game's got to run like 4 perspectives simultaneously, and that has got to be a resource hog. Although looking back, you look at those split-screen multiplayer games, and you can tell, oh yeah, they definitely, you know, made some compromises to make sure that it all still runs somewhat smoothly, even in split screen. They made it work, and that's what matters, right? I can only imagine how much more they would have to compromise for split screen these days. Like, you know, they would have to knock down the detail of everything by a pretty large factor. Large enough that it would be noticeable. Right? You probably wouldn't have all the fancy extra effects that you would be able to if you were just running, you know, one instance of the game. Twisted Metal split screen was super fun. I bet it was. My siblings and I did a lot of Crash Team Racing split screen. That was a fun time.
Fantastic, great win.
We had the PlayStation and we had the multi-tap and everything. Well, it's about time we finally had something good happen to us again. Look at that, sitting pretty at the top. See how the next few events go here. Great qualification, you look good out there. Not many drivers can match that time. As long as it's not raining. It's gonna be like the running gag for this. Can only do well if it's not raining. I'm definitely gonna jack that down to 0. Taking fewer chances out there. And those games that use that boomerang port that had 4 controller ports, yeah! A multi-tap. The good old days of Crash Team Racing, Crash Bash, multiplayer PlayStation games, but those were like the two I remember anyway. Jet Moto, yeah. Forgot about that one. Well, the rule of rain is if it rains during qualifying, then it won't rain during race days, so I'm hoping that continues to hold up for this one. God. Maybe this event in particular, maybe this entire series in particular, I'll just have to take like a lower rank on. They're just gonna pelt me with rain events, and the majority of them. After a certain point, I'm just like, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth fighting anymore. Game is like, you're winning too much time to throw a load of rain at ya. Sure are. You're just dumping it on me. This studio, they have to be slightly mad to think that we need this much rain in the game. Some might even say they're slightly mad. Insert Queen's I'm going slightly mad. Just a little bit. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know, right now you can't tell. Rain makes me feel like there's like some folks just off screen with a hose. Right, they're spraying that hose into the air, making sure it all lands on the track to give it that effect of rain. Someone like hidden in the trees, just having that big hose, just firing it in an arc. One of those water tankers with a load of fire hoses hook up. Yeah! That's what I'm thinking of. Like they do in films, yeah. One of the behind-the-scenes things that's fun to see. Because obviously you can't rely on the weather to work with you, so sometimes you gotta create the rain effects yourself. Although it certainly becomes a pain if rain comes on a day you didn't want it to. Alright, probably get like one or two more chances to get a lap time in there, right? I can imagine it plays havoc with continuity. Yeah, because that's like one of the things people will notice, right? You have like one scene where something happens, but then you have like the the very next shot, like, stuff in the background changes ever so slightly. People are gonna take note of it. There's a thing I read about. It was like called the 180-degree rule or something like that. It's like you film in such a way that, you know, you're only filming from like a certain radius. That way you have like that sort of mental or your audience can have that sort of mental consistency with everything. Right, so if you're like two people talking, then you have to like have one person, you know, if you have them like on either side of the screen, they gotta be like on opposite sides. So you can't have like one guy talking on the right side and then the other guy is also talking on the right side, because you'd be violating the 180-degree rule that way. I guess it's like give the audience that sense of immersion, like they're truly are like a camera kind of looking into the happenings of these folks within the film. You can certainly see the reasoning for it. Sometimes, like, a little inconsistency can really throw people off their game. Okay. Ready. We're good to hit it. Not that much, though. You see that a lot with, like, car chases. Cars will swap models mid-chase and stuff. Or, yeah, or, like, maybe a window will be broken, and then the next scene the window will be perfectly fine, or... Oh, yeah, something else that just... makes you realize, hey, no, this wouldn't be happening if, you know, this chase were happening in real life, in real time, and all that. The thing that can throw you, depending on how egregious the inconsistency is. Alright, I don't think that counted as off track yet. Well, even if I mess this up, I'll get one more chance to have a good lap time. I get 3 shots. I should not miss my chance to blow. This opportunity actually came 3 times this race. Or yeah, or if you can clearly see the stuntman. Or I think there was forget, there was like a TV show episode that, like, was set in like a medieval fantasy time, but I think there was one shot where someone noticed there was a Starbucks cup or something like that. So obviously people were making jokes about how this old fantasy land had Starbucks. It was like fantasy Starbucks. Surprised that was not an invalid time. As the cut was so minuscule, they decided not worth it. Always like when they put Easter eggs in the background. I do enjoy the little things like that too. What are some of your favorite ones? Think of like what Easter eggs I would enjoy. I guess there was like in Ratchet and Clank how there were some games that would have a snowman, except they called it the Snow Dan because it was named after one of their staff members. But that was always fun to kind of hunt down and see where they decided to place it for that game. think there were like some other points too. Oh yeah, Sonic Adventure 2. Certain levels where you can see Big the cat. He's just like off doing something, right? It's just funny because he's not playable in Sonic Adventure 2, but they saw it fit to continue including him. Oh my god. As Rain did me in for qualifiers, just like, alright. We're just gonna start from the back. Sunny day. At least it starts out sunny. Hopefully the weather will stay clear, although that sky isn't making me feel confident. 3 laps, huh? If it's raining this event too, then I might as well just call this entire series a wash, because ain't no way I'm gonna win this one if I have to bomb out twice. Especially since I only got 3rd in that other event. Kinda need a good placement to stay competitive. Here, can I restart that? First restart of the night. In Predator 2 and his spaceship, there was an alien skull on the wall of trophies. Ah, that's a fun one. A little bit of cross-franchise recognition. Indiana Jones C-3PO was in the hieroglyphics. Yeah, that's cool too. Although that's more of just like an in-studio nod to another thing, but yeah, that's cool. Steady. Slip past him when I can. Make sure I pay attention to the driving line as well. Front of this pack does not want to give an inch, though. Something tells me I might just have to settle for 3rd, like I did in the first race. Depending on how nuts 1st and 2nd place in here are. We're still on the 1st lap, and we made our way up to 7th. So I'm feeling alright so far. Oh, now we're at 5th. See, this is the part where my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. That being said, definitely haven't thrown up yet, so we haven't gotten that far. Probably a good thing, because I'm not wearing a sweater either. What the heck, man? I'm doing everything I can. Feels like they're just pulling ahead with no issues, and certainly after a swerve like that, I feel like Yeah, I don't know. I even put this difficulty back down to 1. Why is it that they're this nuts on 1%? How much worse do they get at 100? I feel like at that point they would just teleport to the finish line, right? 100% would just mean they go from like cracked to outright just, hey, we're not even gonna play fair, right? Or at least give the illusion of playing fair. That's a mood. I get like that if I'm in a trial event. Heart starts pounding, yeah. And when you're in like a make or break moment, just like, oh man, I just gotta not screw up. I get that feel. We're in that mode. Enjoy ads or enjoy break. I desperately try to at least not completely screw up this event. This race is like separated into 2 packs. Like the people in front and the people who are not in front. Also, I don't even give a damn about this one anymore. I'm just gonna take all my L's. They can have it. What the actual heck, man? I mean, I like having a bit of a fight too, but I like them to at least pretend that I have something of a chance and that I can make up. Right, get a buffer for any errors I make, right? They can't all be winners, I suppose. Welcome back from Adland, everyone. If only you could do an all-wheel drive swap to keep it stable. If only. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something you could do. It's just that I'm not going into the tuning menu to mess with it. Ah, well, I've made peace with this series. I ain't making it here, but that's fine. There will be plenty more events where this one came from. Yeah, 41 points. I think I still have 15. So yeah, I'm definitely out of the running for first, but depending on how well everyone else does. What happened? This car sucks. That's what happened. My skills suck. Alright, we're back to historic TGA. Let's hope this one fares better. Going to the Czech Republic. Not my fault, it's the car. Aw, thanks. Certainly will acknowledge that my skills aren't the best, but sometimes it feels like the game is just trying everything it can to give me the worst possible hand. On a completely random segue, has anyone been keeping up with the Olympics? I have to admit, I haven't been paying too close of attention to it, same as before, but I've taken note of like some of the moments that have kind of broken into the greater public conscience. Like the one I saw was like that one video of one of the medal ceremonies where was it like the gold medalist of one of the events was like biting their medals, because that's like I guess one of the traditions they do. And like the person beside him just like took a look at them, and then they bit the medal too. They're like, "Ooh, okay, is that what we do here? All right, I want to join in on this. I want to be out of place." I thought that was like pretty amusing. It's like a custom just being passed on non-verbally. Did you see all that complaining about trans folk competing? I did, unfortunately. The worst part is that, like, you know, some of them weren't even trans. They were just, people. They just got all uppity because, oh no, they don't look. Because these people have like such a limited reference pool of what a person looks like, that if someone comes out that doesn't look like what they're used to, right, that fits their limited worldview, they're like, clearly it must be this other thing. It's so stupid. It's like, hey, y'all, like, people who are doing all that transphobic shit, different body types exist. Right, not everyone is going to look the same way. Yeah, we're not all made from the same mold. It's like, come on, y'all. That was a bummer. Oh, I also did read, like, during the triathlon, people were, like, getting very, very sick after swimming. Although I heard, like, the river they used for that was not exactly in the best condition. It might actually have been made worse deliberately because, like, people were trolling and stuff, but still. It reminds me of the Olympics in Brazil, where they also, like, did events in the river that was not very safe, but they did it anyway. I remember seeing, like, quick footage of someone doing, like, a kayaking event, I think, and they were splashing water from the river into their face, and like, no, don't do that. Surely they must have known, like, what was in that water before, right? Yeah. I said it already, but it feels like there's so much problems, you know, stemming from the Olympics, not just like during them, but before and after. Like the concept behind it is extremely noble, but surely there must be something they can do to kind of curb all the devastation it seems to bring upon everyone. I do enjoy the weightlifting. There are certain events that I admit are pretty cool. At the very least, you get greater attention called to them. Like, you know, normally people wouldn't care about, like, you know, the pistol shooting event, but you get the memes with the South Korean woman and the Turkish guy, and everyone's just like, oh, wow. This is all pretty neat, actually. I think the best part about that was that the Turkish competitor also had like pictures of his cat. I remember someone remarking, "Boy, if something were to ever happen to his cat, you'd imagine he'll probably like take 4 movies just exacting revenge on those folks, right?" Like, oh yeah, archery, yeah. That's one you don't see too much attention called to, but during the Olympics, it's like, yes, everyone becomes very invested in it. That and your usual track and field things too, right? The shot put and the ball toss, along with the other sprint and relay race events that they have. I also read that people were like very, very interested in chocolate muffins for some reason or another. I didn't read into that myself, but I imagine they must have looked really, really good if people were like, oh my god, I want a recipe for those chocolate muffins. PTSD from PE class with track and field. Ah, I remember back in middle school, for some reason, there was always like one day of every year where they would bring us outside and they would have us like run laps around the field. That was a large field too. Yeah, I remember by the end I was just positively winded. Also one of the last to finish for obvious reasons. That was never a fun time. I was briefly part of the swim team too, and the occasional exercise we did there was taking laps around the stands, and that was like up the stairs and down the stairs too. And we did like laps. We did many, 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 many laps, and yeah, my sides were hurting by the end. Blah. I'm not a fan. Absolutely not a fan. That'd be me huffing and puffing. You had to do hurdles and the high jump and all that stuff. Oh man. I'm glad it never went that far. All we did was running. Then again, stuff like hurdles and high jump will require more specialized equipment. I'm not sure if they would, like, trust an average gym class with it. OMG, I'm worn out hearing you describe it. Yeah, I'm worn out remembering it, to be honest. Glad that nothing I do these days requires that intensive of exercise. If I were to get back into it, it would be at a much more relaxed pace. and it would be for personal reasons. I'd have to figure out what activities I need to do for, like, weight loss mainly. That'd be, like, the main thing for me. Shot put, too! Oh, boy. They really trusted you with a lot of things, didn't they? Who decided to call that ball and chain a hammer? That is so not a hammer. I forgot they called that a hammer, and you're right, that is absolutely not a hammer. That's more of a flail than anything. Like, seriously. Or just call it ball and chain because, you know, that's what it is. I'll accept javelin. Yeah, I could... Javelin would be like one of those things where maybe absolutely do not let kids mess with that. I feel like there's like 100 ways that could go wrong. Damn near a mace, I know, right? Absolutely like one of those Morningstar type weapons. Like, you know, you see like those enemies in Zelda just swing around all casually and stuff. You see like spikes at the end of it. 13-year-olds and pointing objects? Yeah, no. Yeah. You know, they'd be up to no good if you gave them those pointy objects. I noticed this one's just 2 laps long. Give me badminton, that was super easy. I always had trouble keeping the birdie in the air. That was just a me thing. I'm like absolutely terrible with having to do like that sort of split-second response. Like you asked me to like move to a spot and then swing my racket in a way that I could return the birdie over the net. You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot of me, to be honest. Tennis was like a little bit more up like my alley, but that was only because like the ball did bounce on the court, so it was like a bit easier to, you know, position yourself in a way that you could reasonably return the ball. To be frank, those shuttlecocks are easy to miss. Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I'm not the best at hand-eye coordination when I'm not looking at a thing, and you know you can't be looking at the ball when you're hitting it back because you gotta be looking over there to see what your opponent does and to see how the opponent's gonna return the ball to you. Just gotta hope that your arm's in the right spot. Unfortunately for me, like, maybe 50% of the time it wasn't. I think the closest I do with like sports-related pastime these days is just tossing the ball with my nephew. Really just like throw a ball back and forth with him. He has fun with it. So do I. Good enough for me. Seems PE class is just an excuse to play ball games. Well, it's the easiest one to manage, I imagine. I guess it is funny, like, just how many sports involve a ball in some way or another. Right? You got football, you got soccer, you got basketball, baseball, wiffle ball, kickball, dodgeball, netball, volleyball, foursquare, I guess. Yeah. I guess it's because, like, balls roll on the ground, so it encourages a bit more of movement among the folks and coordination, and kind of test your ability to plan on the fly and anticipate and kind of account for that kind of stuff too. Hockey, yeah. Field hockey especially. At least we're doing well in this series. Great win, mate. Thanks. Short and sweet. That's what I like to see. Now, here we go. Final vintage stock event. Alright. Opponent skills cranked all the way down. We're going to skip the qualifying. And pray to God there's no rain so we can at least finish at a decent spot. Dodgeball, erg. And, yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel great, especially if people are going out of their way to target you, or people are throwing the balls harder than they should be. Primary school, we had cricket. Oh, man. Cricket, that's one of the games I see, like, every now and then, but usually don't watch it in depth, really. Seems interesting, though. Oh, you'd rather watch paint dry. Alright. I would be happy if I can at least finish at a decent spot in this series. As long as it doesn't rain. But even then, that's not going to be a guarantee that I'll get anywhere decent. Only sport where a game can last a few days or so. Oh, man. That's, dedication right there. Helene had a pretty good recovery there. Pub games are always popular here. Ah, you mean talking about like darts and billiards and things like that? When I used to like live back home for a bit, I did go out to the bar with some of my friends for a bit too, and yeah, we would take up like the pool table and just do games of pool there. No stakes involved. It was just an excuse for us to, shoot the breeze while we did something. Rather than just like sit at a table and chat the night away, which we probably could have done too. Pool, snooker, darts, skittles, yeah, figured as much. It's like either that, like for us at least, it would be darts, billiards, or maybe if they had hockey and foosball, we'd do something like that too. Or air hockey, I should clarify, air hockey. Nah, the bar didn't have like a whole ass hockey court just like sitting on the side there. As funny as that would be. Air hockey gets so intense, it sure does, doesn't it? People getting serious about that thing, but probably helps that, you know, it's nominally based off the larger scale sport. Also, with the way everything's set up, you know, it's easy to get competitive in that. Easy to just like raise the stakes inadvertently. Hey, look at that P1 after the first qualifying lap. This might turn out okay. Granted, we have to wait and see if race day has rain or not, but so far we're gonna start off in a good spot. Usually find those in the arcade or bowling alley. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, you'd see air hockey there for sure. Probably for good reason, because imagine sticking the coin in to activate the little air things that make the hockey puck slide around is pretty nice. Yeah, table football, yeah. Absolutely that too. Those games can also get intense. I'm pretty sure it's like at least in the US, it's like a college stereotype that a rec room will usually include a foosball table somewhere off to the side, and you usually see like some folks just messing around with it. That's always a fun time. How you got introduced to beer pong. I'm pretty sure college was like a lot of people's introduction to beer pong. I know that was my introduction to beer pong. There's like one set of roommates I lived with for a year where they were absolutely the party animal type. Definitely had beer pong games set up every now and then when I would come back into the place. Time and the place to experiment and try everything. It's called college, yeah. That's the point where, you know, you got like a little bit of freedom and maybe don't have like, you know, the weight of all the responsibilities on you just yet, so yeah. Good chance to go out and try everything. It has its ups and downs, right? Because, you know, some people maybe are less prepared for some of the responsibilities they'll have to take up than others. Some people maybe not used to having all that freedom, right? They might end up prioritizing the wrong things and then end up making a mess for themselves one way or another. I know for me, yeah, my first semester, there was one class I did slack on, and of course no one was there to remind me, hey, you should probably do stuff for that class, so, you know, I completely flunked out of that class. Thankfully, that was the only time I flunked out of a class for that semester, or for my run through college. Took the course again and then managed to pass the next time, so, lesson learned, kinda, sorta. That time to find yourself, yeah. Sometimes the freedom can be a burden, but there are other times where you have like new avenues open to you that you might not have had before. Or, you know, you might find some people who might have, like, similar interests to you or can, like, help you, yeah, find yourself again. Some of the best people I've met have been online. You know, I'm gonna be real with you, same. College was like the one time where I really kind of fell into a whole bunch of forums and kind of hung out with folks on forums. Back when forums were a big deal. Oh, admin. Alright, we're gonna hit pause on that line of thought. I think that notification needs to be a different color. I think we need to be able to customize that color. For some reason, the hey, ads coming up warning, I'm just not noticing it. If it were like red or purple or something, maybe I'd be more likely to see it. Or maybe the thing that has to happen is that, like, when it shows up on the bottom, it like pushes the rest of the chat up, so I'm more likely to go look down and see, oh, what's happening, and then I notice the notice. But since it's on top, I'm not as likely to notice it. It's a weird thing. It's weird. I know they're probably trying their best to make the notification intuitive, but felt like it was more noticeable before. Yeah, one of those folks that's like, why'd you change it? It was working just fine before. Guys. Alright, I'm gonna restart. That was capital B bad. And we're back. Welcome back. Yeah, as I was saying before, yeah. College years was when I was really kind of got into the forums. I found some forums that I was like really into, and they kind of just like spiraled from there, right? Because the forums had like people from other forums that were coming and visiting, so I checked them out too, and you know, hung out with them and chatted with them. Yeah, those were the times. I remember even for a period of time I was like part of a chat group that some like forumites were in as well. Most of the time we kind of just like sat around and said not much, but you know, the points at which conversation did perk up, it was kind of fun. Either we'd talk about stuff or we just have like a little bit of a joke session going around. Good times. That dive into the rabbit hole, it certainly was. And it mostly only stopped because, like, the majority of the forums I went to just, like, shut down. Right? They just, like, yeah, we're gonna take it offline, because people don't visit like they used to. And we don't think the cost is worth keeping it up. Bit of a shame, but that's how it is. I do kind of miss that, though, because forums always were usually specialized in some way or another, right? Like, they were usually there for, like, a game series or some particular topic or things like that, so, you know, everyone already had, like, a shared interest that you could kind of bounce off of, right? And then you could kind of branch off from there if you wanted, but yeah, nowadays it's like, you know, if if you want to kind of get into a fandom, right, you're gonna have to be on like Facebook or Twitter or something like that. But the thing is, you're still like in the general public with everyone else, right? Even if you got like a specialized group, that group is still gonna be like part of the greater whole. I think someone said that that's kind of like one of the issues with social media, is that whether you like it or not, you're just gonna be hearing the voices from like all corners of the site, usually for the worse. When it's like, and I just want to talk about the things I like and not have to worry about other people accosting me for it, but sadly it's going to happen. It all comes together when you see folk, you know, at a con, just some random voice yelling out your screen name. I did have that happen to me. I did meet a person that I knew from a forum at a convention, and that was a pretty neat experience. It's just like, oh yeah, okay. Interesting, like, putting a face to the name, right? Because you're so used to their username and their avatar and maybe, you know, other things that might be part of their online identity. It's like, oh, wow. It's like putting a human to it. It really changes things. Yeah, you do see the avatar for so long, you kind of associate them with it. You know, especially if like the avatar is that of a character. You start associating the character with that user. It's like, yeah, this is what I imagine you looking like and sounding like, even if you don't actually look and sound like that. I've always wondered how they were doing these days. I'm sure they're doing fine. Probably just like going through life like the rest of us. At least that's what I hope anyway. That's the most we can hope for. Even if you've fallen out of contact, and just hope that they're out there doing the best they can. Just like most of the rest of us. Now you decide to spin out. And again. Was a bit like that when I met some members of my Forza Car Club for the first time. Yeah, the first time is always the most exciting one. It's like, oh boy, what sorts of activities can we do in real life? It's like, oh man, just want to like go to a place and eat and just have a chat. Have a chat person to person. Alright, let's see what my final standings are. Third! I got third, y'all! Woo! Wasn't a complete blowout. Not first, but you know what? That's fine. Given I had 2 events which I completely bombed it. It's like, bleh. Yeah, awkward few seconds, then the ice melts and it's all good. That's the best part, when you hit it off in real life as much as you did online. Alright, historic TGA. This is the final round. Going to Germany. Oh no, it's overcast. I don't like the look of that.
Go, go, go!
So this is the face behind the fox, and all I could do was blush. Aww. I still remember mine distinctly. I got like a tap on the shoulder, I turn around, I see, oh, hey! It's the other person, they were like, are you username? I'm like, yes, that's me. And you are username. And I said, they replied, yes, that would be me. It's just me or this car, like, a lot more stiff now. Or maybe it was always stiff, I just didn't notice. Seems like these turns are a bit more tight than this car usually handles. You ever have those folk you only see at cons every so often? Oh yeah. There was one con where I used to like go to the photo shoot for a particular series, and you know, you go there often enough and you definitely see like a couple of people returning, right? They come back every year, same as you. So it's not like I ever like communicated with them personally, but it's like folks that I've definitely you know, recognize from year to year. Well, I definitely had like one instance where I went to like one con, and then I went to like another con a little later on. I had someone actually stop me because I was cosplaying, I guess, and then they said, "Oh wait, did you go to this other con?" And I said, "Yeah, I did." They're like, "Ah, cool. I remember seeing you there." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty neat." I didn't know what else to say, really, because like, I didn't make it a point to make myself stand out, so the fact that someone just like recognized me from another place was pretty wild. Once seen, never forgotten. It does feel like that. There were like some other places where I would go to you know, the dealer's room. I'd go like shop at certain spots. And the way I do cons usually is I would cosplay for like you know, the first few days, and then on the last day, since it's usually like going to be a shorter day for us, because we'll probably just like, you know, go to the con for the morning and then skip town afterwards. So I'll just go in like my regular clothes. I remember someone actually remarked on that. I was like shopping at their place and I went to get some things, and then they said, "Oh yeah, you're not wearing a costume today?" I was like, yeah, I'm not. Figured I'd have like one instance where I get like the civilian experience, as it were, right? Alright, I'm P1 and I'm just gonna skip. Alright. It's race day and we're still in front. Easily recognizable at your cons because of the badges everyone wears. So you get used to seeing certain personas. I can see that. Especially since it's like more of an alternate personality, so you already have like a consistent look. Unless someone were to go through, like, you know, a change in style or something. I imagine the persona you pick up is going to be the one you have for the foreseeable future, at least. Right? It's not like cosplaying where, well, maybe someone might get famous for wearing a certain costume, but there might be others who regularly change costumes, so they're not always going to have the same ones. Not seeing them all the time, you notice the little changes. Yeah, especially if you, like, see them a whole lot of times and really, like, start picking up on them. Damn near fainted when you first met a famous suitor. That's always fun. Someone who's just well known in the community. It's like, oh man, I've heard of you. I've followed all your stuff. It's like basically me with voice actors. It's one thing I was going through. It was like a small trend for me at the time too. I would always read up on the guest list, and you know, the times they would have like signings and maybe plan a bit around them. Sometimes it worked out, and sometimes it didn't. Right? Some folks were definitely more popular than others, or maybe I'd get there early enough that I was close enough to the front line where I would be able to get a signing from them for sure. I did have like a few signings that I missed out on. That was like mostly my fault though for not scheduling better, but yeah. Yeah, it's always fun, just like meeting with the people you looked up to. It's just like, did you know that you're my hero? Did you know that you're the wind beneath my wings? Okay, maybe not that far, but you get the idea. Oh yeah. I subscribe on your YouTube and eternally be normal, be calm. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta keep in mind what I want to talk to them about. Maybe questions or topics at hand. For me, I'm just like that awkward person who kind of slides over the thing I want them to sign, and then I don't have much else to say. Granted, some of the voice actors are like absolute champs, and they'll usually try to strike up some sort of conversation. And I'll respond the best I can, but, you know. It's the starstruck factor sometimes. It's a bit much. Alright, there we go. Managed to at least end this series on a high note. See where this puts me. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm the champion. Oh yeah. Only had one loss. There's my accolade. You want to say, hi, I'm a huge fan, but what comes out is... yeah, you just get absolutely tongue-tied. No, I get that. I get that feel. Alright, wow, we're in September. Looks like we have... the track challenge coming up. 2 rounds, okay. Well, let's see how this goes. Track day cars. It'll be a change of pace. That 8 turns, and I'm seeing like 2 really good stretches of road there where we can just absolutely floor it. This will be a fun time. See, we're in qualifying, so I want to drive. Right, let's drive. Woo, look at that car. It's so shiny. Too bad it's not going to remain like that once this event is over. I'd love to meet some of the classic Nicktoons voice actors from when I was younger. Isn't that a mood? Can't think of many voice actors from my childhood that I would want to meet. Maybe Veronica Taylor, the original voice of Ash in the Pokemon anime dub. I hear she's still doing roles, which is kind of impressive. Then again, I read about how voice actors I used to enjoy in my childhood are like hitting 50s and 60s now. I'm like, of course, it's the forward march of time, but man, oh man. She was on a podcast with Jim Cummings. I watched that recently. Oh! Huh. That's gotta be fun. Imagine most of the stuff they wouldn't be able to talk about because of NDAs and all that, but... I'm sure even then they probably have a handful of interesting tales to tell. I guess it'll be a thing you do see around in anime space. I remember when I was going to cons, that was like when the Sailor Moon remake series was going out. So, you know, they were doing all the big Sailor Moon events, and of course one of the big ones was they brought back like the voice actors who voiced them in the original anime, like back in the 90s. You know, they were having them around for panels and signings and all that. Imagine that was like a lot of people's childhoods right there, so something to look up to. Sadly, I have to head off to bed now and get some rest. Good luck racing. Alright, thanks. And yeah, you have yourself a good rest. And stay safe too. Have a good one. Yeah, you too. Hopefully things work out for you. I'm curious, like, how many events in September we're gonna do. Obviously gonna do this one, which is only a 2-rounder, so that's gonna be all good, but there's also the Euro event close to the end, and don't know what else they're gonna throw us in here during the month. Did I just skip to the end? Don't know if I need to do the rest of it. Granted, their simulation might be like, alright, based on the way things have turned out, we're gonna kick you down a few places, but there are other instances where they don't do that. I wonder if I have to do, like, maybe almost 2 laps to kind of give them the telemetry they need to determine that I'm going to be good enough to stay in front. As I said a few hours ago, this game is like really living up to its name. You definitely get your race day experience in a whole lot of ways. They give you all the freedom in the world for it too. Like, there is a career mode here, but I think it mostly establishes the structure for you if you need that kind of thing, right? If you need like sort of a guided tour of all the cars and tracks they have, then they'll gladly give it to you, and in the most authentic way possible. But if you're the type of person who just wants to get out there and drive cars, you can do it entirely to its benefit too, because you know most other driving games are like, all right, you gotta get yourself some money, and then you can buy the cars, and then you gotta get some more money to pay for the upgrades. It seems like this game is just like, nah, you get all the cars out the gate, all the tracks out the gate. No, not much in the way of progression unless you want there to be. Even then, it's basically just like checking things off the list, right? Just checking things off the list. What I'll do is like get through this series, and then maybe people will call it good, because I know the second part of this like happens in the month, and I guess we'll see what other events they'll have us doing here. Can't imagine it would be much more than that. It's funny. They have like all these events on the calendar, but you're realistically not gonna do all of them. I wonder if they're like based on like the real world days these events would most likely be happening. I imagine these race day events are probably inspired by a real world event if they're not like the actual real world event, right? Considering like how many other details Project Cars has, I would not be surprised if this was like all the more detail they went into. It does make me wonder though, like, I wonder how they built on this for Project Cars 2. It's like, oh man, what did they add to this game? Like, as far as a game for car aficionados go, this is pretty comprehensive. Like, obviously they're gonna have more tracks and more cars, but they have more features to go with it. Maybe more events. something that would justify a Project Cars 2 and not like, you know, just another content pack DLC or something like that. Go, race 1 is done. You're in a good spot. Alright, let's see where that takes us. Oh, okay. We're just doing the British Track Challenge this month, and I'm assuming GT3 Euro? Yeah. Yeah, I think this will be the last one. Do this, and then I'll probably just wrap things up here. So one of the things I need to do is just like try to maybe improve my sleep schedule a little bit. This is getting a little late. I wanna have some cool down time before I properly jump into bed, right?
Go, go, go!
Because I'm not the type of person who can kind of just like immediately segue from one activity to another. I need like a bit of time to kind of transition, cool down from the weather, and psych myself up for the next. But yeah, my method is usually, you know, wrap up stream, go raid someone, and maybe stay there for a bit, you know, see what they're doing, chat with them a bit, and then let them get back to their thing while I head off and wind down for the night. Something I need to do earlier because, yeah, let's just say my sleep schedule is not the best. Certainly been going to bed way later than people would recommend, right? Like, if they knew how late I was staying up, they'd be like, go to bed! And I certainly can't blame them for that, because, yeah. I don't know. I'm just lucky I work from home, so it's not like I have to, you know, rush out and plan my commute around getting to the building like I used to. Yeah, there was a time in my life where I would have to take like several trains to get to my workplace, and the commute would easily take me about an hour on a good day, so plenty of time for me to kind of just collect myself before I got into work proper. But also it was an hour that I would not be at home doing stuff. I mean, I know some people absolutely thrive with in-person interaction, but I feel like for me, work from home has been a net benefit. You know, less time that I'm wasting just getting to and from. Less effort I have to put into making myself presentable. And just like get up, turn my computer, log in, and do work for the day. It's nice. It's nice like that, right? Which makes it a bummer when you hear companies like pulling back on those benefits. It's like, oh, you did not realize how much better some of their workers were when they were working from home. What? Down to 12th? Must have been because I ran into the grass. Ah, well. Shouldn't be too bad. Seems like this event isn't filled with cracked drivers, so I could probably make my way to the front from halfway from the back. That should be fine, right? Just like that, I'm in front. I mean, I know I'm playing on, like, 0% skill, so 9 times out of 10, yeah, of course, but still. They're still breathing down my neck. Like, you can see that radar on the top. They're, like, not that far away. Okay, good. This race is gonna be quick. I feel like you definitely get that feeling, right? Like that state which you realize, oh, okay, your concentration is starting to wane. I feel like I might be reaching there. A little bit of burnout, I suppose. You know what I'm seriously considering? I'm seriously considering just, like, picking up an Xbox Series X. I have, like, a lot of games on there, and I think I could probably get a little bit of mileage out of some of them. It's got a lot of backwards compatible titles on there, too, and a good number of them are driving games. I feel like if I grabbed one, I could probably expand my repertoire of games I play. At least for a little bit. And I miss games with gold and the game benefit that they used to have with Xbox Live. Of course, they can't make money off of that. That's why they moved everything to Game Pass. I don't know. I am worried a little bit that they're gonna squeeze all the good stuff out of Game Pass. Right? Now that they got everyone in there, they gotta find some way to continue making money, so they're gonna keep slowly bleed benefits out of it until it's a shadow of what it used to be. But I don't... Well, I guess it's kinda getting there, because they're doing, like, the pricing changes and everything, and there's an outcry against it, but hey, they have all the cards, so they can do it and not give a damn what everyone thinks. I saw an article about the Disney Plus price. It's like the monthly subscription price is like twice as much as where it was at the start. It's wild. It's wild that they can just do that, hike the price up to the point where it's twice the price. Like the whole point is that, you get, like, that easy live streaming service, and now that everyone's in there, I gotta find some way to bilk more money out of the populace. It feels like all they ever take into account is like, oh yeah, user base is gonna stay the same, right? Or maybe they have, like, some number in there to account for potential user loss, but they never take into account, like, it might actually be bigger. Right? Like, the amount of extra money they can get from, squeezing more money out of everyone isn't going to mean much if enough people drop out. That all that sub money you did lose. But I'm guessing, my guess is they probably don't care. Right? Eventually they're going to exhaust all their options. They're like, well, so much for that, and just kill it. Yep, what we got next here is a GT3 Euro, a second round of 5. And let's see what they have in the upcoming months. Yeah, no more GT3. As soon as it goes all the way into December, right? Yeah. Yeah, January of next year has new stuff. Yeah, this is round 3, this is round... round 2, this is round 3, round 4. Final round here. Oh my god. What if they're gonna end every year with the Le Mans now? Like, I gotta actually race for 2 hours. It's like no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're signed up for it and you committed to it, then that's where you gotta go, for better or worse. But I think that's probably where we'll leave it off here, because like I said, it's a little late over here, and I do want to wind down. So for now, I think I will call it here. So yeah, thanks to everyone who came by and hung around and chatted, and even if you just lurked, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll be back on Friday, where we'll take a revisit to Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, because they brought out DLC Forges of Corruption. Well, I've read they had 5 new levels, and I think they got like some new weapons in there too. So I suspect we'll get that done in a night, and it'll be a nice one-off, right? In between new playthroughs, we'll maybe do like a few one-offs and here and there, and just have some fun with that, right? Yeah, hope you look forward to that. Anyways, let's look for someone to raid. I gotta bring up some background music. Maybe that same garage music that I've been using for a while now. I just realized it keeps on beginning at the same spot because the URL has a start time on it, so I probably should delete that and just let the thing continue. Yeah, as the whole mix is like pretty fun and chill, but like a whole lot of tunes in there, and it's nice to have some variety, right? Okay. Let's see who can raid into. Whoa. Oh. Okay. Saw someone was playing Phantasy Star Online. I was like gonna be excited, but no, it's 2 new Genesis, but that's the game that is currently out and being supported, so it makes sense. Oh man, someone's playing Castle Crashers. Again, with the DLC coming out, or I wouldn't be surprised. Not to mention it's like all reliable of games. Like, it's the game I imagine is probably easy enough for people to set up a multiplayer match, and straightforward enough, and definitely a game where you can have all sorts of shenanigans. Self-hydrate. More water. Always a good time. I see someone's playing Neon White. That is a game I want to get to eventually. Like most other games I bring up, that's like waiting for Live 2D. Someday, hopefully, I won't have to wait that long. I'm already kind of anticipating Baby a few months, but hopefully I won't have to wait like an exceedingly long time. Hopefully I'm not being optimistic about this. Or overly optimistic, I should say. I ought to be optimistic, but... really looking around here, but decision paralysis is getting to me again. Man, can I just like make up my mind, right? This could be easy if I could just like pick a person and go, alright, reading you. Let's go. Okay. You know what? I think I've picked someone. Second thought, looks like they're changing games. Let's go see who else is out there. Man, why can't some of you be playing more interesting games? Nah, that's a mean thing to say. They can play what they want. Comfortable with it. Shouldn't drag them for that. Alright, the search continues. I'll find someone, I swear, I will. I always do, don't I? Alright, I think I decided on someone else. I've rated them before, but you know what? I'll do it again. Why did the add marker button? Oh well. Yep, looks like they got things set up. Alright, I haven't rated them in the last 30 days either, so this works out. Yeah, Rico is playing Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a way to relax right after driving cars. You get to watch Aloy go trapeze around in a post-apocalyptic landscape fighting giant mechanical monstrosities. That's relaxing, right? Okay, raid message. Yeah, I got nothing. Gonna do an incredibly generic and dumb one. There. If you're joining in on a raid, give them Project Raid! And if not, have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you on Friday for Bolt Gun Forges of Corruption. Take care. Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired. I don't have much else to add. See ya.